Hi everybody, welcome to CloudCoin Live, and we've had another very productive week. I'm happy to announce that this week we've got AeroSpike, the database, set up on all of our RAIDAs. And what AeroSpike allows us to do is, number one, allows us to shard our database into as many pieces that we want to. We want to shard it into 32 different pieces. This basically means that we've got a server called a Sentinel, which receives the detection request where we want to detect if a CloudCoin is real or not. And then that Sentinel will then put it off to one of the 32 different servers. Those servers might be hidden all around the world. And so it makes it very difficult for somebody to try to capture the system because they've got 32 servers to get to per cloud RAIDA cloud. And of course, there's 25 of that. And so basically, we can lose 96% of our data and still know whose cloud coins are real and not. So that's a tremendous thing. But one of the things about our system is that it's unusual in that we can afford to lose data. And other systems, they cannot afford to lose any data at any time. If there's some kind of a transaction, a banking transaction with your credit card or with PayPal or anything like that, if they lose that transaction, they're screwed. But since we're doing it in parallel, and we've got 25 different clouds that are monitoring things, we could actually lose 24 of them and still be able to, if we trust that one, we can get that back. And what that means is that we don't have to play by the same rules as far as making sure data is safe. And that means that we can go very fast. And so the AeroSpike all exists in RAM. And normally you're worried about that. If the computer turns off, you lose everything that's in RAM, you lost everything. We don't have to worry about that. We periodically write things to hard drive. We've got 25 servers or clouds in different parts of the world doing that. If one loses it, that's fine. We can just do the fix algorithm and we can fix it all up nice and good. And so we're looking at transaction speeds of 160,000 transactions per second, which is much better than we thought. We're using crappy, efficient computers that use very little electricity. And so if you looked at how many transactions per second per dollar cost, we are so much more efficient than any other digital currency that we don't have to worry about going out of business because we can afford to pay for that. And if you're a Bitcoin miner and the price drops below, the value of Bitcoin drops below 3,000, you're not going to be able to afford to stay in business. You're going to go out of business. But we don't have that problem with CloudCoin. We are super efficient. And if we scaled up, which means we added more processors, more RAM to our computers, we could actually get, who knows, maybe even 8 million transactions per second. It's hard to say. But definitely we've got more transactions per second than we need, and hopefully more than we need for a long time. Who knows, maybe we've got enough to last the entire lifetime of CloudCoin. We've been working on creating better clients, and so Navraj has actually been on vacation for the past week, so we haven't made a lot of progress, but we are done with Celebrium, just need to do a few tweaks. The back end of Celebrium is all set in stone. It's all been locked down. Celebrium will be released on July 11th for Freedom Fest. We've already got the first celebrities, and those are actually people that run Freedom Fest. So we get to have the sponsors of Freedom Fest be our Celebrium members, and that will demonstrate how Celebrium works. That's going to be really great. And we've changed our art for our money. And so we've got these new art, and of course the one CloudCoin note shows Tank Man on there. And we put some new words there. It says, "Live free or die, death is not the greatest of evil." That's a quote by General John Stark, who wrote a letter right before the Revolutionary War for America. And his words were echoed with Patrick Henry's "Give me liberty or give me death." And that's what really started or gave the emphasis for the Revolutionary War in America and the push for freedom. So we hope that the picture of Tank Man and those words will inspire everybody to be bold and pursue freedom as much as possible. We have developed a new software model. I call it servant-based architecture. And what we're doing is we're creating a way in which we can quickly change and update all of our software. So this is something that's never been done before. I actually teach system analysis and design, and so I've had lots of experience looking at things, and I've come up with this new architecture that I think is going to make it so that we can really make changes quickly. And we've hired a whole bunch of programmers. A lot of this week was spent just unpacking boxes, getting all set up, getting everybody ready, getting everybody moved in to the compound. And hopefully next Monday we'll have our first meeting, and we'll start going strong on client software and liquidity software. And so when it comes to liquidity, our major top number one priority is the BitShares exchange. And we do have now a BitShares wallet. And that is actually a server. So it's a server with a lot of software. We were surprised at how much software there is, how big it is, how complicated it is. But now we've got it set up and we can talk to it, and we basically need to tell it when we receive CloudCoin so that we can give people these CloudCoin tokens that we're going to make. And we need it to tell us when somebody is selling those to us so that we can give them CloudCoins. And that's going good. July 11th is our deadline that we've put for ourselves, same time as Freedom Fest, and so hopefully we'll make that deadline. I think that we're well on our way, and we're on track. We're doing XYZ buys. We want to be online buying and selling things. That is also on track, and we also are pushing for July 11th for that. And so we've got the server all set up. We're just doing some back-end things in regards to that. There's a lot of other projects that we're working on. We're working on something called CloudCoin World, or just Cloud World. Cloud World is a virtual environment where people can come and buy and sell and trade and do business and actually take their currency, their cloud coins, into the world, trade them around inside the world, take them out of the world. So it extends our economy into that space. So that's never been done before, and that's very exciting, where we have real money that can go into video games. We have a lot of interesting developments. A lot of people are starting to hear about CloudCoin, and we're getting some businesses that are interested in partnering. So that continues. I do think that in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see CloudCoin be much more liquid, and that we can exchange it with everything else. Marketing, as far as marketing goes, we're starting to look at, I'm trying to build up my reputation. I've got some speaking gigs at the San Francisco Money Show and the Chicago Trade Expo, and of course Freedom Fest. We've got a new professional PR company that kind of specializes in financial technology, and so they're going to be helping getting the word out about that. But at some point we're going to start spending some money on marketing. We want to make sure all the infrastructure is up and going before we do that, so that when people want to buy it, it's easy for them to buy. They can quickly go to BitShares or some other thing so they can quickly buy, and right now it's not that easy to buy. We are actually setting up a digital exchange which will make it so that people can quickly connect to people, buy and sell, and we're also getting this trusted transfer, which is a third party that you send the cloud coins to. It checks to see if they're real, and then it sends them to the receiver, and that's going to make it much more trustworthy of a system. Everything's coming together. The last thing is operations. And at some point, the CloudCoin Consortium is in the organizational phase. There's not much sense to put a lot of effort into organizing the CloudCoin Consortium, because if the whole project failed, it wouldn't make sense. But we're starting to look at how we're going to organize the CloudCoin consortium. And so everything's going very well. And hopefully we'll have more good news for you next week. So thank you very much for coming. And do we have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
We do have the most viewers I've ever seen, which is 15 was our highest number. So thank them for.
Well, thank you very much for attending. And I'm certain that there's a lot more people that are attending than actually show up on there because they don't actually account for everybody. And we're actually thinking about going to YouTube or some other platform. That might happen in the future.
Feel free to leave comments.
Feel free to leave comments. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.